Welcome to the Lowdown on Ghana Web TV. This is your socio-political program that gives you all the relevant issues that matter to you. My name is Nii Akwei Ismail Akwei. In this edition, we are going to discuss the transport industry and how it drives the economy. Our guest is a key stakeholder in the transport business and is the best person to speak to us on this issue. We'll be right back after this break. Welcome back from the break. This is the Lowdown. My name is Nii Akwei Ismail Akwei, and our guest is the head of communication at the Ghana Private Road Transport Union, Mr. Abass Ibrahim Moro. Welcome, Mr. Moro.
Thank you.
So GPRTU was set up in 1967, and since then we've been hearing about GPRTU, mostly when it has to do with transportation. What's the mandate of GPRTU?
Averagely, we are into private transport operations. And currently, undisputedly, the leading private transport operators in the country. So you can see we grow from strength to strength. And I believe we've also served Mother Ghana well. That is why we are still the leading contender in the race.
So how does one become a member? Do you just have to go to the office and sign up?
Yes, anywhere at all you decide to work with, and those in charge, we have constitution which guides us to be sure that we do the right thing, not to cheat the public, not to cheat our members. So if you decide to work with Jowulu, any GPRTU station within Jowulu catchment area, you have to approach them, inform them of your intention. Every union has their bylaws. Some will immediately accept you as a member. Others will put you on probation because we don't want a driver who steals. We don't want a driver who insults our clients, who are our passengers. So every union has their bylaws. Others will put you on probation, about 3 months, others 6 months, to look at your character, the way you interact with your members, the way you interact with our clients. And they will closely monitor you to find out if somebody leave items in your vehicle, will you return it to the office? Some instances, they will try you and see if you are a honest person or so, because if you are not a honest person, there are instances people leave money, huge sum of money in bags. The drivers return them to the office. When the owner come looking for it, they give it back to the owner. Whatever the owner gives to the driver, there are a lot of blessing in it, say, compared to somebody who will take it away.
So drivers' mates, that's the conductors, yes, are they also eligible to apply to be members of GPRTU?
And you have to bet until you have passed through the hurdle. You have become a driver. Your master has been able to help you acquire a driving license for you. Secondly, they have to be sure when you were going under that tutelage of becoming a driver, your behavior also counts.
So without a license, you can't be a member?
No. With that, because that is for drivers, it's not for mates.
Okay.
You see, if you become a member, meaning you are a driver in the union, you also contribute to build up the union. So this is how it is. And now, there's people who are fighting to look for the viable ones. As I speak now, most of the viable unions have bylands, put up buildings for their members. Most have also bylands for their members. There is 1 or 2 unions also who, what they do is, they look for about, when they work for some time, 2 or 3 people who has now qualified for the assistant that they are operating. They will ask you, the 2 of you, to go and look for a vehicle. They will buy for you, you also pay. And meanwhile, before, you won't pay for the full cost because you also contributed and they bought some for somebody.
Yeah.
So when they buy it for you, they slide the amount down to some stage and ask you to work and pay for that amount, not the full cost. So this is what most of our people are doing now.
So how do we identify drivers who are members of GPRTU? Do they have a special sticker on their cars or
yes, we have. Oh, I've left my ID card in my car, which no, this is my complimentary. No, we have ID cards that we've done for all members. Initially, Greater Accra started. Currently, all over the country. Currently, we have an identity card with GPRTU. Your union is stated, your position in the union. If you are the chairman or a member, it's also stated on the card. And those in the Greater Accra, our regional chairman and me being the secretary, my number, the two numbers are on it. So anybody who drops his or her card somewhere, immediately somebody picks it, they call us, and we arrange for the owner to go for it. The recent one was at Medina. Someone who drops his ID card in a purse, his Ghana card is also inclusive. You know, Ghana card, there is nothing to trace you out. Your number is not on, your telephone number could not be seen on it. And
unless you go to the office.
Yes, and his bank card is also in it. So the person calls and we arrange, we ask for the person's number. It was a lady. So we look for the driver. Immediately we call the welfare. They were able to get the driver for us, and we gave them the lady who found the item's telephone number. And he went and collected it and thanked the lady faithfully.
So talking about the ID card, there are some drivers who misbehave, and you see passengers or customers, I would like to call them that, complaining, but there's no way to identify these drivers. Is it mandatory for drivers who are members of GPRTU to show their cards so people could pick up their identity?
You see, we must be honest to ourselves. GPRTU, undisputedly, as I said, the leading private transport operators in the country. We have cooperatives as well. We have Protua as well. This concern are there, committed are there. But those that we believe who are most recalcitrant, I'm not saying we don't have recalcitrant drivers in our midst. No, that's not what I'm saying. But those that we have identified to be are the floating drivers, those who does not belong to any organization at all, because they know you can't trace him anywhere. They can get away with it. But by then, law does not permit them to work, because the law says anybody who wants to operate commercial driving business must belong to an entity. They can go and form theirs or come and belong to any of the existing ones. But yet they are operating freely without any problem at all. So they are the most problem causes. They are the most people who has been creating most of, because about a month ago I traveled to Mankasim, and there were some sprinters on the way they were driving, my brother, very, very dangerous. And these are the people who really does not. So I took one of the numbers. When I got to Kandeshe, I tried to find out, and they don't belong to any, over there. And it wasn't healthy at all. I believe something must be done. The law must take its course and make sure, because in case these two drivers that I saw that they were driving dangerously, overtaking about 7 vehicles at a time, and one instant he nearly ended up with a head-on collision. And I was, you see, because of my work as what I'm doing today, I was trying to maintain the prescribed speed, which is not above 80 kilometers per hour. And I looks like a stranger on the road. Oh, eventually, almost everybody was overtaking me, because I was driving, I was maintaining the prescribed speed limit on that road. You see, so these are some of the causes. Most of this recalcitrant, I'm not saying, well, we'll have one or two in every society. You know how we behave.
So in case a driver is misbehaving, and this driver has a card or hanging
this
on
is what.
So this is the card we are talking about.
Let me pick it out for you.
Sure. So in case the driver has this card that you are holding, which is a card That shows
which has my picture,
membership. It has your picture,
my
your name,
position,
and position.
my name,
and also the branch.
Branch that I belong
Yes.
to. I'm also a chairman at the Abekan La Paz main branch. I'm the chairman over there. It indicates that yes, if I am a member in that branch too, it will indicate that a member in that Abekan La Paz main branch, it will indicate.
In case a driver having this card, which means he's a member of GPRTU,
Yes.
breaks the laws, just as you saw someone breaking the law, what should a passenger do?
You shouldn't hesitate. If you are traveling from Accra to, say, Mankasim or Cape Coast or Kumasi, when you get to the station, you have to report to the authorities over there, and they will take it up.
So you have to pick the car number,
The
or you
car
have to
number
ask,
and the time that you travel with that vehicle. Immediately, you report to them. They will take it up. There is an instance, somebody went to Neoplan station and sent a parcel. He was supposed to register the parcel, but he just get in touch with a driver and gave him the parcel. It was containing money. He did not disclose it to the driver. I believe that driver suspected that the parcel was containing money. The money doesn't get to its final destination. We penalize the driver for doing that, you see. So if you report, whoever you report to, that union's executive will pick it up, because if you don't, you are eventually going to lose your passengers. Now look at the competition in our industry. So if you don't do something to protect your job and maintain your customers and engage more customers, meaning you are going to, run at a loss. You are going to lose your passengers. Hence, when you report, but normally when you report, we shall investigate to make sure that what you said is the truth. Then whatever punitive action that we are supposed to take, we will do that.
Ride-hailing services like Uber and Bolt, can they be members of GPRTU, or are they even members of GPRTU?
Currently, Tango is trying to negotiate something with us. So they are all welcome.
Oh, so they can be members?
They can be members if they want. Like some section of Tango want to engage us in some flexible business. They are all welcome. All of them are welcome.
And what about commercial motorbike riders?
We don't. You see, my brother, I always try to dodge commercial motorbikes answers. But let me briefly tell you something. If something is good, it's good. There is an adage which says, if I tell you the truth and you cry, it's better than telling you lies to laugh. You see, let's speak the truth. In our statutory books, they are not to operate as commercial entities. Both the two legs and the tricycles, all of them are not supposed to operate as commercial entities. And authorities are watching. They are saying nothing about it. So I normally don't want to complain, because if something is bad and you want to paint it as good, look at the number of people they are killing. They have killed and they are still killing. In case government decides that, oh, let's commercialize them, let's sit down with them, let's regulate them, let's show them what to do, what not to do, I don't think the number of people killed as of today will get to that number. But here we are. Nothing has been done. The illegality is always going on. So normally, it has now turned into politics. So I don't want to mingle politics with my work. So I've decided not to. Say, because whatever I do, whatever I say, I have children, I have wives, I have relatives. I don't want somebody to use something against me for me to blame myself or regret ever doing that. So I don't mingle politics with my work. If you ask me things, I will say the way it is. Either you like it or not. It will give some people credit. It will discredit some people. But eventually when you go home and just put your head on your pillow, oh yes, what this gentleman says is the truth and nothing but the truth. This is the way I want to brand myself.
So between January and July 2021, the country had 9,520 accidents, and this, or amongst this, we had private vehicles having the highest,
More than the commercial.
6,829. The commercial vehicles had 5,726, and then the motorbikes you are talking about, they had 3,671.
The motorbikes that you asked me about.
Yes.
I'm not talking
Sorry.
about.
So the motorbikes that I asked
You
you
asked
about,
me
of
about,
course.
uh-huh.
So they had about 3,671. So you could see the accidents, the percentage of accidents is increasing, and now the motorcycles have added to it, and we have private vehicles at the top of it. And I heard you in our discourse,
Yes,
with the Ghana Web Road Safety Seminar, where you were pushing
yes,
that
I challenge someone.
Private
Yes,
vehicles are
yes,
causing more accidents
yes,
than commercial vehicles.
Yes.
So what are you doing to put your drivers on track?
My brother, I want to say this, and I want to Ghana Web to put it on record. I never knew you have a TV program. I've been opening on the social media, Ghana Web. Every morning I have to look for the current events. That is where I look my programs at. You see, my brother, I want you to put this on record. Currently, the Cape Coast Takoradi Road has recorded more accidents, I believe, than the Kumasi Road. But that is the safest road we have, I would say, in the country. Because if you move from Kaswa, they have erected road signs indicating you can drive 80 kilometers. When you move forward, getting closer to a town, they have also directed you or instructed you to reduce the speed to 50. You take 50, when you get to somewhere that you have to, there is a sign indicating that you can now go 80 kilometers. There is one sharp curve, there is a sign for that. You have two sharp curves ahead of you. There is a sign to that. Where zebra crossing have been erected, the first zebra crossing sign with white background, you see it. The second zebra crossing with blue background, you see it, and there is zebra crossing marking on the road. So I see no reason why. But by then, I'm saying you should put this on record. If police will take it upon themselves and make sure we have our 6 speed checking on the road, 6 sections from Accra to Kumasi, 6 or 8, there won't be any accident recorded. Although if there will be even an accident recorded, it will be about 1 or 2, because my brother, most of these accidents are being caused by some of these recalcitrant drivers. And I was insisting that day that they should say the way it is, that private cars outnumber the commercial cars, because most of the time they create the accidents and they get away with it because they have flashy cars, very smart cars. They will try to overtake wrongfully. And if a commercial car carrying so many people, see, you just can't crash into an oncoming vehicle. You try to salvage the situation whereby you end up languishing comfortable somewhere in the bush just for the private car to pass through. So most of the accidents are being caused by most of these flashy vehicles. Now that our people have also changed their attitude small, you see the record now. I will also say the later education we've now started, on our people has also yielded positive result. Although the accident recorded, we are not happy with it. The number is also still on the higher side. So we are still advising our people to make sure the right thing should be done. They should go straightly by the road signs. All the signs indicating there is a sharp curve, kindly accept it in good faith, indicating that you are not supposed to drive more. The other day, I think we have a meeting with National Road Safety Authority, and I was telling them to have a look at the Kumasi Road. If you get to a new plan at Achimata, you see a sign of 80 kilometer. If you move towards in Sawam, when using the new road, there is a total filling station on the right side. Just after the total filling station, you will see 100 kilometer erected over there, and you see 50, 50, 50, 50, 50. So I was reminding them that they should have a look on the road and make sure some of the speed signs should be erected over there. Secondly, I also saw something from Apenkwan overhead on the N1 highway, driving towards La Paz. Just at the Apenkwan overpass, you see 80 kilometers erected over there, which shouldn't have been the case, because now the place is densely populated area. Children have been crossing from Achimata and Kwetema to Apenkwan cluster of schools. Yeah. So if you still maintain that 80 kilometers, you are telling drivers to be killing our children. Now, if you move further to Abrante Airport, around Abrante, there is the same 80 kilometers also mounted over there. So I was telling them they should revisit it and reduce those places to 50 kilometers, because if you are driving around 50 kilometers and even an elderly or a young or a child crosses, you can salvage the situation compared to the 80 kilometer speed. So these are some of the things that we should all try to help, so that we check it out and make sure right things are being done.
There's a lot of work to be done. We'll come back after this break to talk about your number of members that you have. Also, we'll talk about the quality of vehicles. This is a concern that has been coming up day in, day out. Today is a Lowdown. My name is Nii Akwei Ismail Akwei. We'll be right back after this break. Welcome back from the break. This is the Lowdown. My name is Nii Akwei Ismail Akwei. We are talking with Mr. Abass Ibrahim Moro. I almost forgot your name. He's the head of communication for GPRTU. So we talked a lot about some things that need to be done, like changing the speed limits on our roads, because some roads are growing, and also putting some speed stops on our major roads from Accra to Kumasi and all of that. So still back to the GPRTU. How many members do you have now?
Oh, very huge. We are trying to get the data of all the regions and our total number. We've given that to a consultant.
Okay.
It's the same consultant who is working on our ID card. Yes. So every region, when he finishes, he just tally up. So he's still working on it. So after we'll get there, we want to see how huge or how big we are.
In 2011, it was quoted that you were 120,000. Even that one alone is huge.
That was
it's really big.
A rough estimate.
Yes, rough estimate. So right now, if let's assume you are even 500,000, even a million, that means that you drive the economy, because it means you transport people back and forth all over the country. How are the changes in terms of the policies that are being made with importation of vehicles, importation of car parts, also fuel, fuel prices going up and all of this? How does it affect the union? How does it affect the drivers?
Yes, you see, don't forget, Ghana is not a developed country, it's a developing country. So you have to look at our income, our living condition, and you understand where we are coming from. In case your daddy was a civil servant, he is now out of 60 years and above, and the pension money given to him, he decides to run transport with it. And your daddy comes out maybe 10 years now. You can imagine that 10-year vehicle will not be the same as 2 men's vehicle. Definitely, the vehicle will experience some sort of cracks. But in Ghana, we are so crafty that even colonial days vehicle could be turned into something new. Some of these vehicles that we are using, although you might know it, for example, like the LT buses that we are using. You know, the LT buses are a little aged, but when you sit in most of them and you listen to the engines, the movement, You see, vehicles doesn't get old as we've been saying it. If only you want to maintain it, you want to use it. So currently, we've been encouraging our people to make sure the vehicle you have is what you live on. No matter how aged it is, kindly make sure if the engine is weak, look for a very good engine to it. If the body has a lot of scratches on it, send it to the panel beater, let him recondition it. You spray it, the upholstery, you do it very nicely so that you can continue to do business with it. GPRTU, as you asked, last year we brought in some vehicles which are currently running Kumasi with our name on it, GPRTU Greater Accra. And just last week, we had another new vehicles also, that is 34-seater buses. We are trying to do our best and make sure we'll use all those new ones to replace the old ones as we are moving forward. But you can't do that overnight. So I would say we will still continue to take that credit.
So you are for maintenance now, and then eventually you will change the cars, the vehicles are on the road. Because there are a lot of complaints about vehicles being rusty and all of that. I know it's not a GPRTU problem, because you're not the only union.
We accept it because in Ghana, when I was growing up, the best toothpaste we have is Pepsodent. And if anybody wants to send you to buy toothpaste, so I Pepsodent or Bahame. So we accept it that because we are the best, we are the leading. Anybody who accuses us, yes, we accept it that way. But that doesn't mean whoever drives recalcitrantly is from GPRTU. Most of the time we are being accused for things that we never did.
So recently there was a fuel subsidy issue that came up, and everybody is screaming in the country. How are your drivers taking it?
My brother, I say just 2-3 days ago, we came up with 13% upward adjustment. Nobody, you are a journalist. You were all expecting around 25-20% increment. And we came up with 13%, looking at the living condition of our people, our clients, the passengers that joins our vehicle, etc., etc. And we are thinking today that we've come out with some of the levies, taxes, and margins that government should have a second look, reduce this about 5 or so from the fuel price, so that the fuel price will be slashed down. Just 3 days ago that we came up with this project, everybody was, oh, the transport operators have done well. Everybody has just forgotten about the good work we did. They are saying, oh, why you want this, you want that. Yes, this is the business we do. A driver lives happily because at the end of the day, for example, if you have a vehicle, you've given the vehicle to me, we've come to gentleman agreement that every day I'll make a daily sales of 100 Ghana. Averagely, you will pay me twice what I do, which is 200 Ghana. Can I survive on that 200 Ghana, my brother? You tell the whole world that no. I want to hear from you. Can I survive as my monthly salary on that 200 Ghana? I want to hear from you.
Everybody has
no, not everybody. Can I survive on?
Everybody is different.
No,
I can't survive on that.
Yes. Say say it properly.
I can speak for myself. I can't survive on that.
I mean, who can survive on 200 Ghana? But because at the end of the day, the driver will get about 20 Ghana. You see, we must be honest to ourselves when we are dealing with the public. I'm teaching, you are also teaching. So let's teach them the truth. The truth will be supported with faith. And you also get blessing from that faith. If I get 20 Ghana a day, if I go home, I can leave some, or early morning I can leave some. Meanwhile, this 20 Ghana a day, times 26 working days in a month, whatever I get plus the 200 Ghana, I'll get something reasonable. So we are not much worried. But it doesn't, we are not saying that because we were born in the same vicinity, we grew up in the same vicinity, me and you, we attend the same school. You decide to continue in the university, I decide maybe the parents cannot afford to pay when I get to the university. You know how much you have to start paying. Maybe my parents hasn't got, so I decide to get into the driving industry. That doesn't mean I shouldn't live happily. You see, so if I decide to get into the driving industry, I have plans for that. That maybe I've seen 1 or 2 people in the industry who have been able to sacrifice, buy their own land, build their houses. They've taken care of their children. So I can also go through that the same. Now, if I don't get the 20 Ghana a day after hard day's work, I don't get that money because fuel has been increased. And when we start the business, you fill my tank for me. If I'm not careful, at the end of the day, I have to refill it for tomorrow's work. Anytime they increase the fuel, the money that I have to use to refuel the tank, it won't refuel it again. It will be, I have to add up or it will reduce. Meaning the daily 20 Ghana that I have to take home, I have to take some and add up before I'll be able to fill the tank for the next day's job. If it continues the way it has continued from May up to October, May a liter, price of a liter, not a gallon, is around 6 cedis, 8 pesos. Today, it's around 6 cedis, 50 pesos, meaning 42 pesos has been increased on a liter of fuel. So you can imagine this 42 times the number of gallons I use a day times 26 working days. You can imagine what I could save to take care of my family, which has gone into the fuel. So this is why today we came up with what we are saying that yes, government, where we are today, price of a gallon of petrol is around 29 cedis, some 30 pesos or 35 pesos. We are saying that if some of these taxes could be slashed out of the taxes, levies, and margins on a gallon, we could save something small. The price 29 could come down to around 18 cedis, some pesos, whereby the driver at the end of the day could also save something small. Yeah. If care is not taken, we are saying this, and we are with the government that if it doesn't, then we have no choice than to come up with another upward adjustment. Else we can't survive. And I don't think there's anybody who will take a bucket from here to the Maxmat, or what is the name of that? Yes. You have to go and fetch water from Maxmat to your studio. By the time the person gets here, there is no water in the bucket. That person will go back with the same leaking bucket to the same Maxmat unless the person is not good upwards. Yeah. But anybody who's normal like we are will not go back again. That's what we are doing today. You wake up at dawn, look at the risk job that we are doing. At times you will be on your way and somebody will come and kill you. Yeah. You work and at the end of the day you don't get anything. I mean, nobody, if care is not taken, there will be a time nobody will get into the driving industry because it won't be lucrative. Nobody will go into it because when you get into it, you will work and you won't get anything out of it.
So how do you measure or calculate the amount of money to add or to increase the prices? How do you do that measurement?
Oh, my brother, 1 plus 1. Mm-hmm. 1 plus 1. We are discussing, we are educating the public. 1 plus 1. It's 2. Mm-hmm. And 1 and 2 minus 1. It's 1. If you have money, you are working with it, and the money is declining. I mean, nobody will tell you you are fighting a lose battle. You have to know that, oh, this increment from May up to October, oh, we have suffered so much that we are not making any headway.
So do you do it together with the other unions?
We are in the same business together, so they are also aware.
Okay.
And this time we all came together and brought up the press release that is on the media today.
And it's very timely because normally what we see is the moment there's an increase in fuel, the people you call the floating drivers, then they increase even before we get the official information from the unions.
We've been taking our time because, like as I said, we believe in dialogue. We don't want to take decision whereby tomorrow there will be loopholes in the decision taking. So normally we take our time, make a very good consultation before coming out. And secondly, too, we believe in dialogue. You can mark it. We've never staged a strike before, because we know very well when we do, there will be loss of lives, and we can't, when we call back the strike, we can't resurrect the people who has died. I'm saying this because most villages, we work from the villages to the big cities, and if we decide, education that we are giving, all the drivers are listening and they are happy, and because we are doing the same business, they, monkamaye na ye bre, we are not getting anything. So if government does not dialogue with us and come to a very good compromise, and we say, okay, then let's increase our lorry fares to this percentage, normally everybody will embrace it. And if not, and we wake up tomorrow, we say effective from tomorrow, nobody should work. We should be mindful, it's not the government who buy the vehicles for us. We bought our vehicles on our own. We maintain it on our own, and we are working to make sure we also make more profit on it. So if our people embrace it, and we don't work, and a sick person is to be transported from one village to the big city, because we are not working, we don't do, and that sick person dies. Tomorrow, if we call off the strike, how do we resurrect the person? We are not saying, when West come to West, we'll take that decision, but we don't believe in, radical actions. We believe in dialogue. So now that we've put it on board, we believe government will see wisdom in what we are saying. They will definitely get closer and will come up with something reasonable.
Okay, we wish the GPRTU well and all drivers, and we hope the government listens, as you say. Is there any final word you want to say to the drivers and also those who use your vehicles?
We are getting to December, and normally during this festive mood, there are a lot of businesses attracting our people to travel to places they've never been before, or at times overspeeding, making sure you have to go faster than you used to do. We plead with all drivers across board that this is our profession. Currently, our profession has no good name. Anybody who hit the road is a driver. But anytime there is a problem, it's being attributed to a professional commercial driver. So we should be very careful. We should reduce the accident more than what is on record. How do we do that? We have to go by the road signs and the instructions, by maintaining our vehicle also. If you know you have a defective tire, try to change it so that you protect yourself. If you know you are having problem with your vehicle, don't take that attitude by let me go and come. Make sure you rectify it before going, so that we make sure our profession becomes the best out of the whole lot.
Thank you very much, Abass Ibrahim Moro. This is the Lowdown. My name is Nii Akwei Ismail Akwei. We've been talking about the road safety and how transportation, or the transportation industry, drives the economy. And there are so many issues that need to be looked at, and our guest has taken us through all of them and given some solutions and advice as well to drivers and to all stakeholders. Watch us every week on Ghana Web TV. This is the Lowdown. Be safe.